Huh. Let me see here. Hello? There we go.
Lots of people today.
Yeah, Gary's here.
Oh, Dan?
Yes.
It's a guest, he said. Oh. He's ever having a guest.
It's Gary.
Huh?
Yeah.
Carol says hi, Gary.
This guy's new. This guy over here is new. He's
Hey, yeah, I am new. This is Jose Perdomo.
I'm trying to
Actually,
get
this is my
on
first meeting.
Hello, Jose.
I thought you were at the last meeting, Jose. Or that was a
I
workshop.
was at the workshop.
Right.
I need the workshop probably a lot more than the meetings.
Me too.
Daryl says hi, Gary.
Hey, tell her hello for me. I see you there too, Kay.
What in the devil is that?
Floating head.
Yeah, he's at the zoo or something.
Any news from Seoul? Anybody here heard anything from Seoul? Seoul?
I'm texting him right now.
Oh, okay, that's great.
I've heard from him. He's finally getting into the house, and they're moving around things and trying to
Oh,
organize
super
it.
busy. Yeah, super busy. Hi, Kay. How are you?
Hey, you must say it.
Real good now. Thank you.
That's great.
Kay, if you need to smack him, we won't see anything. Just saying.
I have your permission.
No, it'll just blank out the screen. We'll never even see it.
Whoa,
Now
Oh,
you
God,
see,
he's
now you
done.
don't.
you don't have to do everything Gary says.
Looks like Jack's a little ahead of himself.
Yeah. It's a floating head.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you don't have a green screen.
Hey, Friendlick, are those some Lloyd Butcher pictures behind you?
They are posters.
Oh, okay, cool.
I wish they were the real,
Yeah,
but he gave out posters, but they're very nice, and they
Yeah,
frame
really.
well now.
yeah, cool.
So how is Denver?
I'll be back out there in July, so
It is cold out there now.
not that bad. I think it was 36 yesterday or something.
That's cold. Was that the high?
I'm not sure. It's crazy later like here. Give me 31 day and 65 the next in winter, and it's crazy.
Oh, it was 37 in Vero Beach this morning.
Yeah, there you go.
It was like 41 in Everglades City this morning.
Yeah.
Tomorrow it'll be 80.
Yeah, I know. I tell you what, we've had a nice run of nice weather. Today was gorgeous.
Yeah.
So are you in town, Gary, for the winter?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, good.
they canceled the Barefoot Mailman this year. And it was supposed to be this weekend.
Hmm. What about the seafood festival?
Cancel
October.
October.
All the way till October?
Maybe.
Well, yeah, tentatively. That's the email I got. So I guess let's officially start the meeting.
Okay.
So we have guests, Marissa.
Hello.
How did you find us?
I did a online search and I saw you guys and I want to try it. I was attending the South Florida Woodworkers Guild in Broward, but it's kind of far away. And I want to get more into the turning kind of thing.
Okay, well, welcome.
Thank you.
And one of these days we'll get back to live,
Hopefully soon.
hopefully soon.
What area do you live in, Marissa?
I live in the Kendall area.
Oh,
Well, that's good.
yep, I live out here in West Kendall.
Quiet area of Kendall.
Okay. Let's see, I don't see any other guests here tonight. I did invite a couple of other people, but. Okay, so what do we got here? Join the AAW. I'll be sending out another email tonight or tomorrow. One from the AAW, something, I didn't read the whole thing. They got an article about something about sharpening.
Yeah.
Some other information. I know you members get those, but the non-members, I'd share them with you. How much of them you can open, I'm not certain. So I called Craft Supply yesterday about the gift certificates. And the young ladies I spoke to said, yes, we stopped them. And we're talking about starting them again, but we don't know when. So at this point, we're pretty much out of gift certificates from Craft Supply. So hopefully they'll get started in the near future and send us some more. I also sent an email to the school. The board members got the email along with the several of the people at the school, just touching base with them, you know, letting them know we're still here. We're anxious to get back into the school, you know, when it's possible. I have not heard a reply from them as of this evening. So as soon as I hear something, everybody will be informed.
Good.
So as far as events, you know, I haven't heard anything. I doubt that we're going to have the Native Plant Day, which would be the next normal event would be coming up in March. Jim Wheeler, you know anything about that, or Daniel Wheeler?
I don't know anything about it right now.
Okay, they haven't announced anything?
Not that I've heard of.
Okay. Yeah, that's normally second or third week of March, isn't it?
Yep, sure is.
So basically a month away, almost a little over a month away. So, and we normally hear from them by now. So I don't know where it was supposed to be this year. But I got a feeling it's not going to happen. So, you know, the next thing coming up is the Seafood Festival, if that happens in October. So I guess we'll just have to wing it. Good thing we don't rely on those to make a living. So, what else? Okay, I guess that's pretty much it. Does anybody have any information they want to share? Dave, Piper, any business we need to discuss?
Do you want a treasury report?
Hold on. Yeah, you're gonna talk about the recording, or are you just gonna edit it out, or what do you want to do about it? Anything? I mean, what I suggested to Ralph is on the meetings, it's just my opinion, is that when we post it on the website, I don't think the normal meeting activities should be included on our YouTube channel. I don't know how the rest of you feel about it. I don't know if you look at any of our YouTube demos, you'll see there's a lot of, well, it's non-wood turning related, but you know, it's up to you.
Well, Jack's been editing most of that out on most of them.
Right, you just keep it that way.
Been working on just the demo parts, and we're gonna actually, Jack and I talked about that.
Mhm.
And, you know, I'm gonna, when we actually start the demo, I'm gonna, you know, basically say that we're starting the demo and do a little introduction to it so that the, you know, the recording is more professional. It's not just all of a sudden we're in the middle of a demo and we don't know when and where we started. You know, that way the public can see it.
Make sure you spotlight yourself.
Yes, thank you. I got it. I actually wrote it down here on my notes.
There you go.
The spotlight. So, and so yeah, for those of you that don't know, Jack Sawyer has spent a lot of time, you know, working on getting the meetings onto the Guild's website. I don't know how many of you are aware that we have a link on the website that you can view past, you know, meeting demos back probably several years. You know, if you want to review any of them. So, I guess that's pretty much it. So, David Sigley, you have a report on how many dollars we have in the bank?
I do. At the month end, we had $4,192.51. Yesterday, we paid the Hartford insurance for the Guild. That was $629.63. And therefore, our balance today was $3,622.88. We have about 8 members who haven't renewed. Everybody else has paid either mobile, sending in the checks to me, or via Zelle, which has worked well. A couple folks have paid via PayPal, and that's okay. I'll just reimburse the Guild at that because it's a personal PayPal, but that's not a problem. And yesterday I sent out, if you got a question as to whether you paid it or not, if you might have forgotten, because I can barely remember what I did yesterday. So I sent out the roster yesterday, just look over at the first column and it'll tell you if you paid it or not. And talking about the roster, if you look at the roster, up at the top of the roster is the board members. There are 3 open positions, a membership chairman and 2 elected board members, which are just members at large from the Guild who want to help us, you know, make decisions as for the benefit of the Guild. So we're always looking for a couple of more people to help out. And also at the then the second set of columns right under our logo is some resources. Like Ralph mentioned, Jack Sawyer's our video demo expert, and he's been doing a great job putting them up on YouTube. He's also our librarian, so he has a bunch of videos, you know, what are they called? The video cassettes that you put in the VCRs. If you still have one, I have one. But he has some of those, and he has, let's see, David Piper does our newsletter. Brian's our photographer. Our Guild resource mentor monitor is also Jack Sawyer. We have a couple resources that are available. He told me the other day that we have a photo booth. That's what Dave Goldsman David Piper has a large, the full-size screen projector or projector screen, I believe. Right, David?
Yep. Yes, if anybody wants it, you're welcome to it.
All right.
Yeah, we had one at the school and it disappeared, so the school bought us another one to replace it. But we don't really use it at the school because we just put it up on the screen that's already on the wall, or the board up on the wall. So it's kind of sitting in the corner at Dave's house.
Yeah, it still has the straps tied around it that come with it when they ship it.
Yeah, never been opened, so I don't think we really need it. If anybody wants an old-fashioned obsolete projector screen,
Yeah, he needed it.
contact Dave Piper. He probably wants to get it out of his house.
Yep. And on the photo booth that David Sigley mentioned, Dave Goldsbean has it at his shop. It's
A nice
near the
size.
crossings, south of the crossings on West Kendall. And he's put out an outstanding invite to anybody that wants to come there and photograph their work. They can use the photo booth.
Oh, cool.
I could put the screen with all the video equipment in case we ever need it. I got plenty.
You have room for it, Jack?
Yeah.
All right, that'll work out. Mr. Piper would love to get it out of his house.
Love
Okay.
to. Yeah, the only reason I had it is like I say, when they changed the construction lab over to a computer lab, you know, the workers threw it away.
Ugh.
And when we owned, so the school did replace it, and we never used it again. Never used it.
And then the last set of columns on that roster is the events that we keep talking about, even though none are happening now. These have typically been chaired by Ralph and David, but they could they would gladly take some assistance and begin their succession planning on those people. So, you know, there's a bunch of us here, and it's a nice turnout tonight. So if anybody's willing to step up and help in any of these positions, I'm sure Ralph and David would be more than glad to let you know what's needed in those. So take a look at the roster, and if you have any changes to the roster, if you change address or you emails or anything like that, let me know. I'm keeping that roster up to date as much as I can. That's it.
Anybody got anything else?
Ralph,
Yes.
do you want me to get rid of the ones with the meetings? I think there's 3 in there that were just the meeting parts that I had separate. I can delete those.
Yeah, I think we probably should just go ahead and delete those. And I think possibly what we should do is do the demo and then probably
Show and tell.
leave the show and tell at the end, because sometimes when we get into the actual done with the demo, some of us will, you know, we like if, I don't know how many meetings ago, somebody asked a question about how to sharpen a drill bit. So I, you know, walked over with the camera on the grinder and showed y'all how to sharpen a drill bit, and then, you know, a couple of other things like that. So there is, you know, sometimes there is more information after the quote unquote demo is finished. So I think, you know, if we just record and show the demo to the end of pretty much the end of the meeting is what I think we should probably do. Anybody else got an opinion on that?
I agree.
Sounds like a winner.
Yep. Sounds good.
Okay. So,
Ralph, this is Jan. I have a question for you that has nothing to do with turning wood. I just
Oh.
needed to understand, have any of the members had COVID-19?
yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Who did?
Jack.
Jack had it,
Jack Sawyer.
Tiffany had it, Paula had it, Danny had it.
My son Joe had it.
Well, I'm glad they all came through. I've been, you know, really hovering over just to make sure that I don't get it. So I'm hoping to join you guys again, but I got to do it before it's safe. How many of you have had a vaccination?
One,
Had the first one.
the first one,
I've had both of them.
Excellent.
and David Frenlick had both, yep.
I had both.
I had both also.
I'm holding out. I'm hoping for the vaccine for my recurring cranial rectosis, but I'm hoping something comes out soon.
It's still in trial.
Nah,
It doesn't look good.
no cure. Gary, no cure.
And you know, the thing is, I had no I've only had one mild side effect,
Yep.
but this is my turning hand.
Yeah, okay.
Whew. That's better than your other side effect.
I didn't want to say that in mixed company.
See, that's why you don't want to put the recordings in the.
Hey,
Thank you very much. Thanks, man.
Hey. No, I put them on there on my channel. So, anyway, so anybody got anything else?
Hey, Ralph.
Yes.
Hi, everybody. Quick question. Has there ever been a thought of making like a club Instagram page to share, like where everybody could share photos of their projects? Sort of like an instant gallery, but on social media?
It's been thought of. Now it sounds like you want to be in charge of that.
We have
I
that on the
second that
Facebook
motion.
page. We do have a Facebook page where I'm posting the instant galleries.
Oh, we have a Facebook. Okay, cool. I didn't know that. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not on Facebook. I didn't know. Okay, cool.
Instagram's good too, if you want to do that.
I think Instagram may be more better.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
okay,
here,
cool. We'll figure it out. I can help with that.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got your name down for it, Ozzy. Good, that's good.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for volunteering.
No,
By the way, Ozzy, I watched your 2 videos. I got to them late, but very good job on those.
thank you.
Good.
Appreciate it.
So you're gonna make one of those fiberglass bowls,
Not right now.
Ozzy?
I actually haven't even gotten to the blank that we cast in the demo. It's still here sitting. So maybe someday I'll get to it. I've been working
Okay.
on pens for now.
No, I was wondering if you saw that video I sent the other day about the,
Oh,
using
the
insulation.
resin. Yeah, I know that guy. He's kind of crazy.
Oh, moon pie?
I wouldn't have done it with that fiberglass insulation.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I was itching just looking at it.
Yeah. You need a hazmat suit to turn that stuff.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, I guess let's get to the demo part of this deal. So let me do this.
Did you mute everybody?
Yeah, mute everybody.
Yeah, everybody needs to mute themselves.
You know, I don't know if it's something I've learned the other day. I forgot where I learned it from now, but if you want to mute yourself, you don't have to click it. You just
No?
hold down the space bar and let it go when you're done talking. Something like an intercom. That's how the space bar works for muting and unmuting yourself.
Oh, yeah, it'll unmute you. won't it?
Yeah, it unmute you. As long as
Right.
it's down, you can talk. But once you take your finger off, it goes back to muting. So you don't have to remember to turn the mute on and off all the time.
Okay,
You're talking.
well, I'll let everybody just deal with their own mute. Unless I hear too many dogs in the background. So, let's see here. We got that spotlight. Now, what the heck is going on with this? So, let me. Switch cameras.
I guess Waldo didn't make it again tonight. He was falling asleep when I left at 3.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's something on my screen I'm trying to get rid of. Anyway, okay, let me switch cameras here. So this is the official start of the demonstration. So tonight we are going to make a scratch-all. I don't know how many of you have seen or looked at Cindy Drozda's website. She had some really nice scratch-alls that she was selling, and I thought they looked kind of cool, so I figured I would make a version of it. So here it is. You got a lot of glare there. So this has got a stainless steel button on the top, which is a carriage bolt, and a brass flare nut for a ferrule, and then the actual tool, which is a piece of 7/32 01 drill rod, which I've sharpened to a nice point. I did not heat treat this yet, which I need to do, so this is not glued in, it's just loose. But you get the idea. So we'll go through the steps of making one of these. So I'm going to start by sharpening the actual tool itself. So we've got the upside down belt sander again, Mr. Piper's favorite thing.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Safety first.
Well, it's actually very safe. It's very stable because this particular table has a slot in it right there that the handle of the belt sander fits down in. So it's really not going to go anywhere. Okay. And, you know, if somebody and of course that's this belt sander because it's flat on the top. So it sits very nicely. If you wanted to do this and your belt sander won't sit properly and you don't have a slotted table, you can always take some wood and make a cradle for it and clamp it down. You know, there's several ways to do it. So it's not really unsafe, so to speak. So let me put on my dust mask. And what I've done is I've taken the drill rod and cut it to length. Stuff comes in 24-inch lengths. I got it up there at the wet tool, which I've sent a link out before, but I'll send another one. So I've cut this to length. And what I'm going to do is stick it in a drill like so to spin it on a belt sander. So as you can see, that puts a taper on it. I'm obviously not going to sit here for 10 minutes putting a taper on this. You all get the idea how to do it. If you don't have a belt sander, you could, and you have pin jaws on your chuck, on your lathe, you could put it in the chuck and If you've got a angle grinder, you could use that with a flat wheel on it or a sanding disc on it to do the same thing. You know, there's several ways to do it. If you really wanted to, you could do it on the bench grinder, on your bench grinder, but it'd be kind of a pain in the neck. You know, if you had the Wolverine platform, you could do it with that with a drill motor. So there's several ways to sharpen it up, but I think the belt sander works probably about the easiest. So that being said, we'll go back over to the lathe and we will switch cameras. So I've got a block of Osage orange here that I've marked the center and I've pre-whacked it with the spur drive so that I can put it on this spur drive that fits in the chuck. So gonna change centers.
Hey, Ralph, I know that the piece of wood can be whatever size you want, but what do you recommend starting with?
Yeah, depending on how big you want to make them. This particular piece is this one's 3 3/4 long, which is a little long, but we're going to trim it down some. You'll see you kind of need to put 2 tenons, one on each end. So, and this one here, I'm kind of winging it because the first one I made today that I showed y'all kind of got off center and got a little wonky on me. So I'm going to try something a little different on this one. So 3.5 inches long, 3 3/4, 2.5 square. You know, obviously it's not precision cut, it's cut on the bandsaw, but that doesn't matter because we're just gonna make it round anyway. So, you know, depending on how big of a handle you want, you know, you can make them any size you want. You can make little bitty ones. You know, it's kind of an obsolete tool. You know, people use them for, you know, some guys use them for, you know, putting a center mark, but, you know, most people have a spring-loaded center punch to do that, which works better. So, but I just thought it was a cool thing to make. So, we lock this up between centers. Bring up our tool rest. Check our clearance. And make it round. So I'm going to be using a spindle roughing gouge to round this out. And I'm turning it about 1600 RPM. Lock that up a little bit tighter. All right, no bounce, we're smooth. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my parting tool and square up the end. I'm gonna make a tenon on one end at this point so I can grab it in the chuck and drill all the way through. Hopefully I can make the drill bit go straight. Okay. Clean this end up just a little bit.
Hey, Ralph,
Yes.
for what it's worth, this is a great shot, however you have the camera.
Right overhead. That's that camera mount that my son got me. I'm working out pretty well. He lent me an extra camera. So as you can see, I've got 3 cameras available now tonight. So all right. So now I'm going to drill it. Slow my speed down. It's out of the way. So the drill rod material I'm using is 7/32 in diameter. So I'm going to run that through with a 15/64 drill bit to give it some clearance for the glue. Problem is, most of the drill bits are This one might make it through there. So, yeah, I think we can make it through with that. Otherwise, I've got a smaller drill that I ordered for another job, which is a 532 drill bit, and it's 6 inches long. Okay, so that'll go through there, no problem at all. Problem with some of these drill bits, as you can see, the flutes only go a couple inches. So once you get past those flutes, you got to really be careful and keep pulling it out to clear your chips, which you got to do with any of them anyway when you're drilling like this. So,
Ralph, we're getting a lot of feedback.
Feedback?
Noise, a lot of background noise. I don't know if anybody else hears it.
I hear it. Is that me?
Are you on mute?
Might you have one of the other mics open, Ralph?
I don't know. Let me see.
It's stopped now.
Okay. I think I can only run one mic at a time, Dave.
No, I think that's it. Looks like some of those that weren't muted are muted, so we're good.
Okay.
Sounded
So,
like a squid with COPD, I think, but it's gone.
I'm going to mount the drill bit in there all the way in to start with. And wants to walk. So let me get another tool in here to get a better starting point for this drill bit, because once they start walking, then that drill bit starts wiggling around and your hole goes crazy, especially depending on what kind of wood it is. All right, now we should have a good starting point.
I'll try. Eventually. That is seriously.
Then you can use this scratch awl tool just for cleaning out these shavings out of the flutes. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stick that drill bit and just barely grab it by the end. Hopefully we can get all the way through this piece of wood. Yes, I think we made it through. Yes, we're all the way through. Perfect. Okay, so. Now what I'm going to do is make sure that this thing runs true. I'm going to take it out of the chuck. And this is the issue I had with the other one. I just continued on from this point. And the first one I made, the hole was a little bit off center by the time it got to the other end. So everything was kind of wiggling around. So what I'm going to do is, yeah, actually, as you see, I don't know if you can see that, that hole didn't come out dead center. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to drive this on the actual hole and then recut our tenons, this tenon and the tenon that's going to go on the other end. So what I'll do is and here's something I found out a few weeks ago. You can take this bullnose cone from your one-way or Powermatic Live Center and just drop it right here in the chuck. Use it as a drive. And I'll put the other one on here on this Live Center. As you can see, that hole didn't come out centered. So you see how that thing's wobbling around side to side. So if I had continued on just using this tenon, everything would have been all screwed up. So what we'll do is make new tenons that'll be running true to the hole through the center. Okay. So we've got a tenon on each end. You'll see why we know that in a minute. Change chucks. Okay, so. And let's make that the top. Oh, messed that one up. Messed that tenon up a little bit. Let me clean that up. And we're going to spin it around because I think this, maybe we can keep this coloration and figure. I'm going to make this the top. So I need to spin it back around. Okay, so now what we got to do for that button on the end, okay, use a stainless steel carriage bolt, 3/8. Three-eighths by 3/4. Okay. And so what we need to do is enlarge the hole, obviously, for that to go in there. So I'll first take a 3/8 drill bit. And go in about a little over 3/4. Again, slowing down because you don't want to drill too fast.
Whoa.
Question? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a 1/2-inch bit and just touch it, because this is a carriage bolt, which has a square section up at the top. That's what locks it into what this is normally used for, is bolting sheet metal together. And they have a square hole that locks in, so you have a flush finished head instead of having a regular bolt head or a screw head. So I wanted to get some brass ones, but they didn't have any. I don't even know if they make them.
Did you say, excuse me, did you say what the size of the second drill is? Drill bit?
3/8 and then 1/2. So a 64th over your actual steel tool size. Okay, and there's no set rules on this. If you want to use a smaller diameter piece of material, I just got 7/32 because I thought it sounded about right. You could get a little bit smaller diameter, a little larger if you wanted. Just go a 64th over on your actual hole for the tool. And then you need a 3/8 bit for the 3/8 bolt. And then you need a 1/2-inch bit to accept the square shank on the head under the head of the bolt. So what I'll do now is I like to use polyurethane, the Gorilla Glue, or you could use 5-minute epoxy. With the Gorilla Glue, it needs to be damp, so I just give it a little spritz of water, and hopefully I can get some of this glue to come out. It's getting kind of old. Just kind of smear that around on there. Don't drop it. Put it in. And then smack it up there with a mallet. I'm just using the tailstock to put pressure on it. Hold it in place for a minute or two. So that glue takes a while to cure, but you know, with what we're doing, it's not gonna hurt it. You could, you know, use the 5-minute epoxy if you wanted. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this thing around. Why is that not running true? There we go. Make sure it's running true. Get rid of that little nub there. Get back to my live center with the cone on it. Always use your tailstock as much as you can for support, even though this is a short piece. You know, you're gonna be taking a lot of material up in here, getting down to where we need to be to get this ferrule on here, which is, this is a 3/8 flare nut. You know, you can use other things. I'd rather, this one is a little bit big for the project, but it'll be all right. So I've got my caliper set a little big. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll take this one down with a parting tool. Okay. See what happens. Probably going to be a little big, but we can always cut it down more. Yeah. So. Take that down just a hair. Perfect. So I'll make this a little longer so that, and tapered so that it extends up into the taper of the nut. You see that? So that it extends up into there. Okay, getting close.
Hey, Ralph, got a question.
Yes,
I know you're turning it with a crescent wrench. The inside of that thing is not threaded, is it?
yes, the nut is threaded.
Oh, it is.
It's a-
Okay.
It's a flare nut.
Oh, okay. So there are threads. That's why you're
Yeah, it's
cranking it on. Okay,
Plug
thanks.
flare nut. Some people call them gas nuts. May have to take a hand more. Okay, the hell was that?
Somebody was off mute.
No, that was my phone.
Okay. We gotta take a little more material off of here to get the shape. That's why it wasn't going on all the way. It's not critical that this is a tight fit because it's gonna get filled with glue anyway. More off of here. Okay, so now what we'll do is we're gonna glue that on there. I got some thick CA, you know. I'm just using this because it's quicker. You know, either the Gorilla Glue or the 5-minute epoxy. Give it a little shot of accelerator. I don't know if it'll even get in there, but anyway. So now bring this tailstock back up. Start shaping our handle. I'm using a 1/2-inch spindle gouge. Which I grind mine back. And then I put a double, triple bevel on them to give me more clearance. And then you're gonna watch me do run backs, maybe. Like that. Then I want to get close to my diameter of the nut or the ferrule. And then don't do that. Okay. So now what we're going to do is turn it around. And finish off the top. So what I'll do is I'll take the
Hey, Ralph, is
Yes.
is the flare nut also stainless or is it brass?
No, it's brass.
Okay,
It's brass. That's why I wanted to get a brass carriage bolt.
got it.
But when I went over to Mitchell's and asked John for a brass carriage bolt, he just laughed at me. He says, "What are you, nuts?" So
Do they make the flare nuts in stainless?
not that I'm aware of.
Hmm.
I have some stainless they're compression type nuts from a very high-end line of special fittings for high pressure work, but the ones that I've got either too big or too small. As far as the button in the back, there is an alternative, but it would have a screwdriver slot in it, but it would be brass. They're actually the bolts that hold the toilet tank to the toilet bowl. And they're a large headed brass bolt. But it has, like I said, it has a slot in it, and there's not enough material on it to machine that slot out and have a smooth finish. So now another one I'm going to do, I didn't have time. I just did this today. I'll show y'all in a little bit. Another one I want to make. So what I've done is I've taken the cone and you put it in the chuck to drive here. And then I'm going to bring up my live center that I've removed the center pin from and use that against the bolt. Okay. Put pressure on it so I can drive it. Now what I did today, except that it didn't come out quite right, so I'm not going to use it. I got to find it. Here it is. You know, we had talked in previous demos about accessories you can make to screw on the end of the live center. Okay, like this one you all have seen when for doing goblets and things with the rounded front. So I started to make one today with a cup end that would fit, but it got off center and I didn't do a very good job making it. So I'm not going to use it because it really messed me up today earlier. So what I'll do is, and actually, if you look at this, it didn't really mark it too bad. And that may just be because I've got wax on the rest of it, and it doesn't have wax where the live center was, or it may have. I can't really feel an indentation.
What about putting a piece of thin leather or something?
Well, that's what I'm going to do right now. If I can find it. I have some little pieces here somewhere, but these are the ones that I use. These are little leather washers that I use for when I'm making my spin tops. So we'll bring this up. Oops. A little slow down there. Of course, this is a little big, so it's going to be in the way of shaping. So let me trim it up. Yeah, if you ever see an old leather top desk in the dumpster, grab the leather off of it. That's where this came from. It's a little bit out, but that's okay because we can just, that's why if we leave this a little bit big, we can correct that. I don't know if you can see that it's running a hair out. That's snugged up good. And let's do this. All right, I'm gonna have to take these safety. Oh, I didn't even have them on. I'm gonna have to put reading glasses on to see what the hell I'm doing. Oh, that's much better. I'll leave an extra ridge on this one just for fun. Now we'll go to the back. And this is end grain. So you want to be cutting downhill. From larger to smaller diameter. Don't do that. Design opportunity. Yep. Now we got to sharpen the tool. We just hit that stainless steel bolt with the tip. So that actually clean this up here. I don't like that extra ridge. So we'll get rid of it. That looks pretty good. So. School rats out of the way. And if you've got good sharp tools and fairly decent tool control, you can probably start sanding at 220. Slow it down just a little bit. You know, if you wanted, you could put a couple of grooves in here and burn it with a wire. Burning on this surface here, we could probably get a burn with a wire. But when you're trying to burn something that's not a sort of flat surface, obviously you can't get the wire in there. So you want to put a burn in, you know, use your point tool or your vortex tool or your ultra thin parting tool and make a little groove. Get a piece of Formica, and you can use the edge of the Formica. Will burn it also. Get that little 500. Put a little dab of Howard's on there, feeding wax. Get that color to come up. Varnish that in good. Speed it up. Just using a piece of green Scotch Brite to put that oil on. That's in a minute. Touch with a paper towel. A little wax. I do not recommend buying this Varathane brand wax from Home Depot. I don't like it at all. It's too damn watery runny for me. The Minwax brand I think is much better, but Home Depot quit carrying Minwax, so you got to go to Lowe's now to get it. So we'll buff this up. You know, you could put, if you wanted to, you could put a poly finish on this. You could put shellac, you know, shine juice, anything you want. Could you know, put it on the Beal buffing system and make it shine like a diamond. Gary? Okay, so. All right, well, it did cut through. So I'm gonna make it cut through a little bit. You can see the mark, but it really doesn't matter that much. You know, you could hit this with some sandpaper, or make a better one of these, which I'll do. And then of course you've got your handle with your ferrules glued, and just mix up some 5-minute epoxy, or to use the get all the shavings out so that this will seat up against the bolt. Okay, that's the whole purpose of this. What Cindy Drozda said is she puts a cap on hers so that if you want to use a mallet on it, you're hitting metal and not damaging the wood, because she makes these out of like pink ivory, coco bolo, and real expensive woods. And she also gets $90 a piece for this. So that's the demo for tonight. My other one I was gonna do, which I'm gonna make a couple of different ones, and what the plan was for the bolt, for the cap, the end cap, the metal end cap, and the ferrule was this would be personalized to me. So for the end cap, I was going to use the brass off of a shotgun shell, and for the ferrule, I was going to use a 45 casing. So I got to make some of those. We'll see them when we see them. So that concludes the demo for tonight.
Good job.
Love
Thank
it. Very nice.
Thank you. Thank you, Ralph. Beautiful.
Excellent.
Great job.
Let's remove the spotlight. And we'll go back to whatever. So, anybody got questions?
Nope, very nice.
Ice pick I've ever seen.
Who did what?
I said, that's the prettiest ice pick I've ever seen.
Well, yeah, you could use it for an ice pick.
Ralph, if you wanted to turn the brass ferrule, can you turn those nuts, those sides off?
Yeah. Yeah, if you wanted to, sure.
Okay.
You can turn the brass on there. You just have to sharpen your tools a little bit, but I mean, these tools that we're using are high-speed steel. They're the same material that they use on a metal lathe, for tool bits. So, obviously, the ones on the metal lathe are much, they're ground completely differently. So the edge is a lot stronger than the edges we use. And of course, it's held in an extremely rigid tool holder, which doesn't move, where we're holding it by hand. So, that's what makes it a little tough. But you can turn brass and aluminum, without too much effort, pewter, copper. You know, I wouldn't attempt to do steel.
No.
But yeah, you can, you know, I know some guys like to, you know, make the, you know, they like to make them round.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, if you could make it round.
Sure, you can do that. You know, some of the other things that I use, obviously, me being a plumber, I had access. You know, you've seen, you know, some of the stuff I use on ferrules for
Couldn't it also use a file against it?
yeah, you could, but you got to really be careful. You know, you've seen me use these guys, these nuts. You know, those are faucet nuts for ferrules. And on some of my tools, on the back end, you know, I use a copper plumbing cap, just a copper pipe cap. You know, Sorby's got a button on the back of their tool, so I decided, well, I'll just put a pipe cap on the back of mine. That way the back end of the tool doesn't get all messed up. So, you know, there's all kinds of stuff you can do. So switch back over here. Let me get that light out of the way. So, so that's pretty much it for the demo, obviously. So, anybody got questions? Okay, we're very quiet tonight.
Did you ever get your computer fixed? So
No.
we can hear?
No, the guy thought we had it fixed, but I was trying it today with the sound and it's doing the same thing. So I got to shoot him an email. I got to use the remote speakers, which, you know, is okay because I'm, you know, here in the shop. But if I ever wanted to take the laptop and go somewhere, it's kind of a pain in the neck to be dragging speakers around with you.
Now,
but so anybody got any work that they've been working on they want to show?
well, Ralph, I've got a question. When you said you got the drill rod from DeWitt,
Yes.
is that the one on US 1 in like 138th, 140th Street?
No, you're thinking of DeRuyter.
Say it again?
You're thinking of DeRuyter, the pump place.
Okay.
No, DeWitt Tool is up on 72nd Avenue and 65th Street.
Right, okay.
I think I sent a link the last go round, but I'll send another link out on it.
Thank you.
But I would call them first to make sure they have it in stock, because when I went up there, the guy said, oh yeah, I got one piece left. So he said they're not stocking a lot. He says because his reasoning was that all the tool and die makers left town. So, you know, drill rod is used for making obviously drills, punches, you know, different things in the, you know, in the tool and die business.
What was that? There was MSC catalog company.
MSC. Yeah. They're in business.
Master's Car.
You know, there's a variety of places you can get it. You know, might even be able to get it on Amazon. You know, when I was actually stopped by DeWitt, because when Paula and I went to pick up her bandsaw from Broward, I figured I'm up that way. Let me stop there and see if they got any. And I wanted to get a Morris taper shank drill bit also. So I got a 3/4 Morris taper shank drill bit. And this drill bit was under $20. So. And they actually, apparently a lot of the guys from the club used to buy a lot of stuff from them. Because the salesman said, oh yeah, you're with the wood turners. He says, yeah, you guys used to buy all kinds of stuff from me, grinding wheels and tool bits and everything. So,
Oh, yeah. At one time, they actually gave us a discount.
Okay.
And if you look at the old newsletters
Right.
in the back, you'll see them listed.
Yeah.
But
So
they had moved, didn't they? They had moved
No,
around the
that's-
corner.
you're thinking about Smith Hamilton.
No, all right. Smith Hamilton definitely moved, but
Smith Hamilton used to have a place on the corner of 36th Street and 37th Avenue.
now is DeWitt still selling some of the stuff by the pound?
No, that's Simmons.
No, this was DeWitt used to sell some of the tools.
Really?
Oddball machine tools by the pound, you know, the drill bits and things
Oh,
like
really?
They
Okay.
were so bizarre. I mean, you know, not like 3/4. They were the digital and the
Okay, I think, now that you mention that, I think when I was up there a few years ago, they had a table in the showroom that had boxes full of stuff and it was by the pound. And, but of course now they don't have that right now. They're, got plexiglass everywhere and marks on the floor where to stand. And so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
different world.
David, I think what you're thinking of, I mean, that is, anyways, I bought tools by the pound. There's a place on Northwest 36th Street by the airport. If you go up Milam Dairy North, it's on the left-hand side and it's called Machine Tools. I went by there the other day. It happened to be on a Sunday, just to see if they were still there. It's on the west side of Milam Dairy, just north of 36th Street. And they sell tools by the pound. I mean, everything by the metal, by drill bits, tools by the pound there too. Maybe that's the one you're thinking of. It's called Machine Tools.
It may be. It's been
Yeah, it's not the
a couple mango seasons ago.
Yeah, no, I was just there, like I said, a couple Sundays ago, just driving around that area. So I just went by there to see if it was still there. And well, there is a place there called Machine Tools.
Yeah, there's several different tool companies up in that area.
Yep.
And then there's Simmons, a little further north. It's, got stainless and material and what have you. So, but I don't think they have any tools for sale that I'm aware of. I don't know. I've never been in there, believe it or not.
Ralph, the drill bit, the drill rod was 7/16.
732.
732. Okay.
Yeah, that's just what I picked out of my head. You could use 3/16. When I went up there and I asked the guy, I said, actually what I told him, I said, have you got any 3/16 or 732? And he said, I got 732. So I said, all right, I'll take it. 3/16 would work. This is, in theory, this is a scratch all. It's an ice pick too, if you want. You can make ice picks, make the handle a little bit different, a little longer, more like a screwdriver handle. Just another project, something different to do. If you look at Drozda's website where she's got them displayed, I mean, they're like a piece of art, because of the type of wood she used. And, I mean, that's a pretty piece of wood. I don't know how well you can see it in that particular camera. Let me
You left the water?
Yeah.
What's that?
I think I'm gonna exit this.
Let me try this one. Oh, sounds like a baby's being born.
Just trying to get this stupid iPad.
So,
That is pretty.
yeah, it's a piece of Osage. You know, I'm gonna make some out of the Vera wood.
Hmm.
I've got some really nice looking Vera wood. You know, good, really nice color, nice grain. Actually, that's what this mallet is that I made many years ago. The lighting in here is terrible. I'm gonna have to do something about my lighting, I think. I don't know how well you can see that. But, you know.
Yeah, I saw it when you were using it.
Yeah, make some out of crabwood.
Mhm.
You know, make some out of coco bolo. Put them on the display rack. Don't use them. So anybody got anything they want to show that they've been working on?
Yeah, I've got something here.
Okay.
It's a friend of mine. If you want to see what she's makes stained glass windows. I used to work with her. She's up in New Jersey, and she's got a kiln. And so what she did is she takes 2 squares of glass, and I don't know if this is not a square, but she takes 2 pieces of glass that are square, and she makes them look like a star. Okay, and then she puts it in her kiln, and then they look like this. She starts off with a 2-inch square, and after she calls it fast fire, and they come out round, fairly round, real rounder than yeah, pretty round. They're about almost 1/8 of an inch, 1 1/8 of an inch. So what I did with them is I sent her a couple, but I made some of my down unders, bottle stoppers, with the glass she sent me.
The secret's out now, Dave.
Well, you know, I thought about that, Ralph, you know. And I've given the dimensions of how to make these at a workshop a long time ago.
You did.
And like you say, everything is copied from somewhere.
Yep.
I have yeah, I'll be glad to send you the dimensions. Just the only thing I ask is don't call it down under. Come up with your own idea. And what these are, for those that aren't too familiar with them, is the bottle stoppers goes inside. The silicone stopper goes inside. So when you put this on a wine bottle, it goes into the door of the refrigerator easy because it's not sticking up higher than a normal bottle stopper. I mean, I'd rather have you, I'll give you the dimensions, show you how to do it, rather than borrow one during one of our shows and then I get it back a year later, but I'll be glad to.
And we're not going to mention any names.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
But I mean, that happened too. One day, Kay was putting my stuff away and we ended up with one of Jim Wheeler's bottle stoppers in our boxes, but I didn't wait a year to get it back to him. But anyway, so that's it. I'll be glad to share.
Actually, I saw one of those. One of the guys I know on Facebook up in Canada makes them also.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep.
I think Steve's got something, but he's on mute.
What's that?
I think Steve has, there you go.
Yeah, I unmuted.
Talk to me. Where'd you go?
Right here.
Oh, okay. More busy work.
Yeah.
What is it?
Nice.
Tell us about it.
Well, it's 396 pieces. I used maple and cherry and walnut. Designed a vase, and this is what I got.
Are you using a computer program to cut?
Yeah. For something like this, yeah, it's too much math.
Okay,
So it makes it easier. For smaller pieces, I could do that, you can scratch it out pretty quick.
right.
But for something like this, it's just easier for me to throw in some numbers and give it a shape, and then it does its thing.
Okay, the program does give you.
Yeah,
the,
it gives you the dimensions. And
angles and dimensions and
well, the
numbers.
angles are easy because they don't change.
Okay,
This is 24 pieces around, so you're cutting 15 degrees.
okay,
The feature ring is 12 around, so that's 30.
nice. Thank you.
Get me off the streets for a couple nights.
Yeah, keep you busy for a night or two, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a little piece here. Is mahogany base, half round, and then I had made this wood sphere, but it was kind of ugly, so I dipped it in. It's called dry vit. It's like a texture that goes on masonry or concrete block walls. So anyway, I dipped it in that, and then I have acrylic paint to make it look like a planet. I don't know if you can see.
Yes.
Cool.
So painted it, and that's it.
Correct.
I like
Science
it.
fiction.
Anybody else?
I have something.
Ozzy.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Well, I went over to Lee Sky's house to buy that little jet mini lathe that he had,
Right.
and he gifted me some black. This might not come out because it's kind of dark. Some black coral, and he's like, "You got to try making a pen with this." And what I did is I cast it in resin to try to kind of conserve as much as I could. And I did get some resin in the tip, but the rest of it was just black coral. It came out real nice. Kind of hard to see, I guess, in this light. Let me see if I get the camera out. There we go. That looks a little better.
Yeah. No, your pictures were much better.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have better pictures for the instant gallery. But I've been working on that. Actually, just as Ralph's been working, I've been putting together these Sierra style pens. I have to do 14 of them. So they're all different types of resin. So I've done 8 tonight, or well, in the last 2 days. But that's all I got right now.
But you know, and that the black coral that Lee gets, he finds it on the shoreline up there in Broward.
Yeah. That's harvested. He says he harvested after the storm.
Yeah, he goes to the beach and finds it.
Yeah, he was telling me he fills up his car with it. So
yeah,
definitely, it's something I'd like to try again when I get a little more.
That sounds like Lee. Yeah.
Yeah, he had lots of stuff to offer when I went, but that little lathe I got from him was very nice.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's all I got.
Thank you.
Very good.
Next. Well,
Pete, are you in your kitchen? Why don't you show us what you've done?
The sink cabinet went into place today.
This is why
I got some stuff on the counter. They ordered my granite on Monday. So I don't know if we can see here, but so the whole kitchen's kind of in place. I can't tell if it's how well you can see it with me being here. But so yeah, you can see all the upper cabinets got put in on Saturday. And then the sink cabinet went in today. Glass cabinet, so 5 months of work is finally done.
So
I ordered the granite Monday. I'm waiting for the guy to come out and measure. So I'm finally in wind down mode. So now I can get back on the lathe.
You built those yourself, right?
I'm sorry?
You built those yourself, right?
I did everything. Doors, cabinets, drawers, everything. It's all out of maple.
Any installation, I'm assuming?
I'm sorry?
And you installed them?
Yep, I did. My buddy came over Saturday and we installed the upper cabinets. And, I put all the lower cabinets in place. I still got it. And now I'm just waiting on the granite, picked out granite Monday.
Nice.
So the actual construction of the cabinets I finished right after Christmas. So now I can actually go play with my lathe again.
Good.
So it's been a long project.
Yeah, they always are.
I'd never done anything like this before, and people asked, "You gonna do it again?" I said no.
Yeah, right.
Too much time. Way too much time.
When I built this shop, I figured I'd tear the old one down that was in where this is, and tear this thing down, tear the old one down, and have the new building up within a week. And that did not happen. It took a long time. So, and it's still not, of course, finished because nothing's ever finished.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Now I got to do some painting up around it. Now I got to paint up along the top, and so I got some little things to do today. Until it gets done. I cut and painted I cut and stained all the kickboards today.
Okay.
And got to get those tacked in.
Yep.
So,
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I'm going to have to bail out. Thanks again, Ralph. I
Okay.
appreciate it. Beautiful job.
And we'll see you on the next one.
Yes, sir.
Oh. Okay. Anybody else got anything?
Just want to wish you a good night, Ralph.
Thank you, Dan.
Okay.
Stay safe.
You are an inspiration.
Well, thanks. So,
Good night, everybody. Stay safe. See you next month.
night.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting
every-
me. I will be back next month. Thank you.
Okay, we'll see you. And,
Welcome.
I'll contact you by email.
Thank you for the demo. Have a good night.
Welcome.
Good night.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you, Ralph. Have a good night.
Thank you. See you later.
all right, guys,
you.
have a good night.
Thank you,
All right.
Ralph.
I'm gonna shut
Bye-bye.
this thing down.
Bye, Ralph.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Good night, folks.
Good night.